Hello, the Salty Outdoorsman here, and it's springtime in New England, and a lot of us are getting back into getting outdoors and camping and bushcrafting and doing all the things that we love. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about the traditional system that we have with the 5 C's and the 10 C's, and put some thought into it, and I took some notes and wrote some things down. So I kind of wanted to dive into that a little bit here, and I scripted things out a little bit, so I'm going to read off of it here. But there's a pattern I keep seeing in survival systems. We often try to force them to land on a round number like the 5 C's and the 10 C's, mainly for symmetry and memorization. But nature doesn't care about numbers like humans do, and when you actually break it down into the things that are essential in a survival situation, the number stabilizes at 8. So I started rethinking it, and this is the system that I've come up with, the 8 C's plus 1. The logical system comes down to the 8 C's of survival plus the one cognitive layer that is widely overlooked, comprehension. Comprehension equals knowledge, and knowledge equals skills, judgment, awareness, decision-making, reasoning, and common sense, probably the most critical of all. So in reality, this category should be number 1 in the list, I believe, because without it, all the other tools in your bag are meaningless. Then we move into the 8 physical C's: cutting, combustion, container, cover, cordage, care, compass, and candling device. And then after that, I feel like we try to force it into 10, like I said, to hit that round number or to be symmetrical or whatever. So to break these further down, cutting is a knife or cutting tools, your trusted tool. Combustion is fire starting. Container is water storage, or even a backpack could be a container that carries your gear and essential tools. Then we have cover. Cover is shelter. Even the clothing that you wear is a form of shelter, and having the proper clothing on is your first line of defense. Then moving on, we have cordage. Cordage, I relate that to connectivity. Cordage connects things together and makes tools that are usable. You can make shelters, you can make rafts. So cordage equates to connectivity. Care. I call it care because it starts with a C and it kind of fits in the categories, and I think that would be the next thing in line. Care would be first aid and hygiene. You've got to take care of yourself when you're out here, not only hygienically wise, but first aid. You got to have first aid to cover if you get hurt, have an injury, and all that kind of stuff. So beyond that, then we start moving into the next category. I would say would be compass equals navigation. You want to know where you're at out here, and you want to be able to get out of a situation if you become lost. And then the next thing in the line would be candling device, which is light source. And then after that, is where things kind of, we try to force them into 10 C's. So I think that the thing really, in all reality, limits out at 8. Then once you get to the end of the list there, that's kind of the end of the line of extremely functional physical items. Then we start going into things like cotton and sailing needles and things like that, which are great. They're useful tools, but I don't think they're survival tools. I think when we start getting that far down the list, we start going into convenience rather than the core basics of what you really need to function out there. And that seems to kind of top out at 8. And I've put a lot of thought into this, and maybe you have as well. And if you've come up with something that I've overlooked or missed, let me know. Let me know in the comments or whatever, because I've searched hard to think of what is in the next in line after those 8 C's that is critical to have with you. And if you have that, share it with us. So why are 8 categories functionally complete? These 8 physical categories correspond to distinct survival functions. Number 1, material processing. Number 2, energy generation. Number 3, water management. Number 4, protection. Number 5, structural integration. Number 6, health maintenance. Number 7, direction and orientation. And number 8, illumination. So together they address the core practical requirements of wilderness survival. None is redundant, and each one represents a unique capability. So I tend to kind of put them in order sometimes of priority, but in reality, they're all essential. You know, I've done some videos on my day pack and what I have in there, and it pretty much covers those 8 categories, and I never leave without them. If I'm going to go out on a simple day hike, you know, they're in there, and I've got them reduced to a level where they're not heavy. I have exactly what I need. I don't over carry, but I don't under carry either. I always make sure that all those bases are covered, and every time you set out on a hike, you should have those things with you in case you do excuse me, get into a situation, you know, you've got the bases covered. So all right, so why comprehension comes first. Although listed as +1, comprehension is the true foundation of the system. Knowledge determines what to carry, when to use each tool, how to improvise, which risks to prioritize, when to conserve resources, and how to avoid preventable mistakes. You know, it kind of comes down to common sense, and then over time, wisdom. You know, I know a lot of people watching these channels, you know, they're new at this, and they're starting off, and they're learning things, and you know, we all started somewhere. I, as well as many of you out there, have been doing this many years. You know, over time, you learn, and trial and error and things like that. You come up with your own ways of doing things, but you gain wisdom over time. And some things you try and you fail at, or you get out in a situation and you get caught in a bad storm, and you learn from those kind of experience. So you know, I've always said throughout the years, especially going on the long trips up in the Boundary Waters, we'd be out for, you know, 14 days at a time, and you don't remember the beautiful, calm, sunny day where you're just sitting around and swimming or whatever. You remember the storm that kicked your ass, and I always looked at it like that. You know, those are and to me, those were the most exciting times. Those are the things that stick with you, and you know, a lot of memories of those kind of things, and what we had to do to get out of those situations. And you know, I've been in some pretty tough situations a few times, and hey, we always managed to make it out of them, because you know, we had a little bit of knowledge behind us. And you know, over time, you want to practice, and you'll gain skills. You'll be prepared when the time comes that you need it. It's you know, I was kind of equate it to sailing. I'm a sailor. And I remember when I started sailing, and I haven't been sailing all my life. You know, I started later in life, but I've done a lot of sailing. I actually sailed all over, you know, the Caribbean, and across the Atlantic, and Panama, and different places like that. But I always say, you know, anybody can sail, but it's the guys that can get you out of a situation when things get tough. That's when it counts. When things take a turn, you really have to have your act together to know how to get out of that situation. And same thing with being outdoors. Things can turn real quick, and next thing you know, you end up in a situation you weren't expecting. So having that knowledge behind you just helps you get out of those situations. Same thing when it comes to gear. You know, use whatever you have to get out here and get started. You don't always have to have the latest, greatest everything. You know, gear is expensive, and sometimes it takes time to acquire it. And start off with the important things first. Over time, you build on things, and my gear is always continuously evolving. And you know, I try different things, and I'll swap things out according to seasonal situations as well, and also the environment you're going to be in. And depending on where you're at, you bring different tools, or the length of time that you're going to be out. It might dictate what you bring. And but yeah, you know, start slow, build your kit. Make sure you have the core things covered. You know, you want to have a good knife, you want to have a nice fire kit, you know, containers. Everybody's got containers. We all know what they are. Save your money and, you know, get some good rain gear. Cordage is simple. Everybody's got that. It's cheap and inexpensive. Get yourself a good headlamp and flashlight, you know, a nice tarp, and you'll figure out what you need. You'll build your kit, and you'll get there. All right, well, anyways, that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up here. I've been rambling on for a little while. Hope you enjoyed this and took a little something away from it. But hey, it's that time of year again. Get out and start enjoying things. So, all right, Salty here, over and out.